A guitar capo is a handy tool that clips onto the neck of your guitar and shortens the strings, which raises the pitch. This means you can play songs in different keys without having to adjust your finger positions. It's a great way to find the right key for your voice or to quickly change keys while still using the same chord shapes. You can think of a capo as a movable version of the nut of your guitar. If you played the chord progression G, D, E minor and C without a capo and found this too low a register for your voice, then you could experiment with different positions on the fretboard until you found a key that feels more comfortable. Most of the time, guitarists wouldn't even think about what key they're now in and still think of themselves as playing G, D, E minor and C chords in the key of G. This is fine as you are now playing in a more suitable key and you don't have to think about changing the chord shapes or in fact the way that you played previously. However, what you need to remember is that the chord names are not tied to chord shapes. In other words, the standard open chords you first learned to play are only called the names they are because of where they're positioned on the fretboard. As soon as you move any of these to a different location of the fretboard, the notes in each chord have changed, and therefore also the name of the chord itself. If you're new to memorizing note names, what keys are, what chords belong in keys, and more advanced subjects such as the building blocks of chord formation, then I would recommend watching a few videos that I will link below this post. The process of understanding what chord shapes are called when moving them around the neck is basically what the cage system is all about and goes hand in hand with capo use. So I will also link to my complete caged guitar course. Ultimately though, capo use doesn't need to be complicated at all. If you're playing a chord progression such as the previous example in the key of G, then all you really need is to be able to identify root notes. The root note of the first G chord is on the 3rd fret of the E string. If I wanted to play this in the key of B, I would simply find a B note on the E string and place my G chord shape down, starting from this note. This would tell me that I would need to place the capo on fret 4, as this is where the nut of the guitar would be if I played in an open position with no capo at all. Placing the chord here, along with the capo on fret 4, would automatically put the whole chord progression in the new key of B, as they have all moved up in pitch the same relationally. To identify the name of each chord, you only need to know the name of each root note within each chord. These are the root note positions in the key of G, and these are the root note positions in the key of B. Giving us B, F sharp, G sharp, and E. The type of chord you're playing, for example major, minor, or 7th, isn't affected, so simply apply the type of chord to the new root notes, giving us the chords B, F sharp, G sharp minor, and E. The only time capo use can cause confusion between you and other musicians is when you have a chord chart in front of you that tells you to place a capo on a particular fret, and of course then shows the chord shapes, but not necessarily the actual chord names in the key everyone else is playing in. For example, a pianist is playing a song in the key of A. The chord progression is A, E, F sharp minor, and D. The guitarist has a chord chart for the same song that reads G, D, E minor and C, but with a capo on fret 2. As the guitarist has effectively moved up the progression from the key of G by 2 half steps, he is now playing in the same key as the pianist, the key of A. So there's no problem, both are playing the same chords. The issue only occurs when the guitarist refers to a particular chord in the song as the shape name instead of what it would actually be called in the new key. On paper, the guitarist would call the first shape G, as that's what's written. However, this is incorrect, as they would actually be playing an A chord. It's worth understanding and being aware of this when reading capo chord charts and communicating with other musicians. A quick side note, buy a decent capo. The way in which a capo squeezes the string actually matters. Most capos, especially more budget-friendly designs, squeeze too hard, causing the tuning to go sharp, which often requires a fair amount of fiddling to retune while the capo's on. Not to mention that once you remove the capo, your open strings will now be out of tune again, requiring even more tuning. The only capo I use or recommend is a G7th Performance 3 capo. These require no extra tuning as you simply squeeze the right amount of pressure instead of many capos which are spring-loaded with the grip of death. They cost more, but they do the job very well and will last a lifetime. If you want to grab a G7th capo, then be sure to use the affiliate link below, which will give me a small commission without costing you anything extra. Some people use capos for different reasons, such as still being able to let open strings ring out in certain chord progressions, which isn't possible with bar chords. Acoustic fingerstyle players sometimes partially capo certain strings for interesting tuning options, such as having the low strings ring out while capoing the remaining strings much higher up the fretboard. And another common use case is for doubling guitars in the studio by recording guitars playing the same chord progression in different areas of the fretboard for a much more interesting and sonically pleasing rhythm sound. I hope this explained capo use for some of you. I'll see you in the next one.